For many people, money sort of, to really get Dostoevsky, you have to read his long novels like Crime and Punishment, and Brothers Karamazov, and things like that. So it's tougher when you have to select something short. That's not necessarily what he's really known for. He's a guy who was very politically active young man, and he got sent off to Siberia for 10 years. This was after being lined up, told he was going to be executed, given a cross to kiss, and then told the Tsar has decided in all generosity not to execute him, but just to send him to 10 years hard labor in Siberia instead. So he went and spent 10 years in Siberia, and while he was in Siberia, there wasn't much entertainment, believe it or not. So what he read continuously was the Bible, especially the Gospels. He became much more religious person. And after he was released, he wrote what he considers his four greatest novels. And a lot of people sort of assumed that somehow or another this terrible experience made him a great writer. A lot of people would debate that. But anyway, one of the things, in addition to sort of being a literary guy, he's associated with, philosophically, it's what's called existentialism. You all familiar with existentialism at all?
Yeah.
What is existentialism?
It's not really thinking, maybe entirely wrong, but actually, I don't really know. I'm playing bullshit.
You kind of question the existence, if there's a meaning of life, if there's a course of events that take place in your life that actually, has any meaning, or is that absurdism? I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I mean, it could be. That's part of existentialism.
Right.
Anybody else? It's a word people love to use, especially like in coffee shops and whatnot. I remember one time when I was in college, and when I was training in Europe, this guy kept using the word existential every other sentence. And I was taking a class in existentialism at the time. So I finally just had to stop and ask him, what do you mean by existential? And he goes, honestly, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, well, at least honest, most people don't know that they think like they do. In a nutshell, it's a movement. It really started, depending on who you ask, in the 19th century, this Danish philosopher named Kierkegaard. It's very difficult to read. Philosophy. So going back to Plato, remember the allegory of the cave in Plato? Everybody sees the shadows and thinks those are real. And he says, hey, that's us. We're the cave dwellers. We live in the material world. We don't see reality. We just see material things. So the idea is always that there's a higher truth. It's the essence. It's not existence, it's essence. Does that make sense? So religions would take this idea and say, yeah, like I've got this physical body, but that's not the real Andy. The real Andy, the soul, is something you can't see or smell or taste or touch. Right? So existentialism just reverses it. They say existence is more important than essence. Pretty simple, right? At the end of the day. So what they are saying is there a higher purpose? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Existence is what matters.